All right.
That's it. It's live.
Mhm.
Welcome to the show, Ryan.
So I got a whole new saga of the chicken stuff.
Do ya? What do you got for the saga of the chickens?
Yep. Well, the chickens have decided that they are required to be let out every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when they are not let out, they don't just whine and complain.
Mm-hmm.
They like climb the chicken wire fence.
Did they? I didn't see them climb the chicken wire fence.
Well, like they flap their wings and they like grab onto the fence with their feet and they whine and complain really loudly and they land on the ground.
No. Well,
They are basically climbing the walls.
See what happens? See what happens when they got a taste of freedom? And then you
Yeah.
put them back in there? They're like, no, this isn't working. We want our
Although
freedom back.
they are totally cool with being inside their 20-foot run whenever they see your dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know.
I noticed that when Rogue was back there, they stopped complaining immediately, as soon as they saw him.
Well, you know.
And also, they don't like bananas. They don't like bananas or banana peels, it seems. Like they avoid it the same way they avoid citrus. And because we've been letting them loose in the yard, I'm learning all the plants that they don't really like. They don't like chives. They don't like see, it was chives and a couple other things. Oh, mint. They don't like mint. And did you know that mint is a deterrent for rodents?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so I'm learning about the plants that they don't like, paying special attention so that I can start figuring out what will work well as a deterrent for rodents and everything, and I can plant it all around like their coop, and that will help to keep creatures out.
Okay.
They really like asparagus, though. They gobble that up like crazy. I'm so glad I managed to figure out how to keep them out of the asparagus garden. Which the asparagus is growing like crazy. You go check on it one day and it's got like 1 and 2 inch asparagus spears. Check on it the next day. Those 1 and 2 inch things have become 6 and 7 inches tall.
Cool.
It's insane.
Oh, you're talking about the asparagus. Well, asparagus grows fast, man. It once it starts going, it goes crazy for about 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's like how avocados are only ripe between the hours of midnight and 4 a.m. and only for about 5 minutes. And if you miss that 5-minute window, you either get unripe or overripe avocados.
Yeah, something like that.
Same kind of craziness.
Something like that. All right, here we go. We're gonna have a little bit of fun here. Let's see if I can find the right number here.
Right number? What sounds did you bring today?
Oh no, I'm going to. We're going to switch to something here and see if it'll. I'm trying to play something here. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, keep babbling while I keep trying to make this work the right way.
I'm just trying to figure out what the heck you're talking about. It's not a sound, but you're gonna play it, and you're trying to see if it'll work. But it's a number, so you're not making any sense.
Well,
and you wonder why people think you're crazy.
Well,
no response. Excellent.
No, there's no response to me being crazy. I'm trying to play a downloaded or a video here into our our pre-stream here. I'm using a pre-stream to experiment with different things in OBS to go live, and I'm trying to play something here to see if I can make it work.
Okay.
As I figure out all the miscellaneous little pieces that this thing can do for me. And expand out my knowledge of OBS in the process. And because this is the pre-stream, this is where we're supposed to goof off and talk and chat about chickens and asparagus and all the miscellaneous crap that I do behind the scenes.
Cool. Completely unrelated to that. Did you know that it's hard to tell the difference between the sound of a kitten and a goat?
A kitten and a goat.
Yes. Angry baby goat and an angry kitten sound so much alike that you can confuse them if you can't see which animal's making the noise. The only reason I know this is because of the short videos. Like I've noticed, I like baby goats. I watch videos of baby goats. They're hilarious. But I've noticed that if the girls or somebody else is watching a video of a cat or a goat, I can't actually tell the difference.
It sort of works.
Oh, cool.
There's no sound. Here, we'll let you see it. There you go. Rogue.
Apparently.
Oh, you can't see it?
Oh, nothing. Yeah, I can see it. That's adorable. It's sideways.
Yeah, I know. I have to figure that part out now. So we'll go back this way and then see how I can figure it out. Let's see what happens here.
Isn't there like a turny thing you can click on?
There we go. That might work.
Did you find the wizards? Find the wizard hat?
Nope, it didn't work. Wait a second. It was there.
Oh, hey. Altrina said they heard the sounds from the video.
Oh, well, I didn't hear the sounds for the video. Okay.
No, now did I.
For some reason, I couldn't hear the sounds, but I'm glad you could hear the sounds in the video for those out there. But yeah, I'm just sort of goofing off here. I've got another 4 minutes of being able to goof off and play with stuff. So anyone who shows up for the pre-stream gets to see me goof off with stuff as I try to figure
things out, test out new ideas.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I hit the wrong. That's all right. We got to start that one all over again. Let's try recreating that one more time. That might work. And then we got to go find a video.
Listening to you mumble over this, it really does sound very similar to the gibberish that wizards mumble when they're casting a spell.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
You need a wizard hat, man.
I need a wizard hat? Okay.
You need a wizard hat.
We'll work on that.
You got the hair for a wizard. Gandalf had long hair like that.
Yes, I know.
So you got the wizard hair. You got the wizard staff. Now you need the wizard hat. You even got the wizard cloak. You need a hat.
Yep, I do have the wizard cloak.
And if you don't already have a wizard hat, tell Leia she will make you an awesome wizard hat. She's gotten really good at making hats now.
Why didn't it work this time? It didn't work this time.
Well, it's black, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It was off the screen. Where'd it go? Come
on. Excuse me. You know, if you move your head just right, you can't see the coffee picture behind you. All you see is a really cool space thing with a little bit of the coffee, and it looks kind of like a cauldron with smoke coming up. Oh, it's kind of there. It's a little piece of it.
It's a piece of it. I've got it closer. I'm getting closer. We're getting closer to it. It's almost working. I've still got 2 minutes. Let's see what else I can find here in the settings for center. There we go. Let's try that. Try that. Nope, that still didn't center the screen. Okay. The problem is it goes and it hides on me when I'm trying to.
It's like when I try to move one thing in a site I'm currently working on, and everything just messes up and changes. Like, what just happened?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point here. This is a bizarre little thing I'm doing. I know it can be done because there's other people who use OBS to do all this cool, strange stuff. So I know it can be done. There's probably even YouTube videos I could figure it out on, but that requires research and time reading, you know, all that random stuff.
Requires more effort than you're willing to put into it.
That's about the size of it, yeah. Or it's not more effort. It's like these guys who do these videos, I swear, they decide to slow down at the speed of a sloth. And this is what... Oh, wait, we got to double back. I swear that's what they do. And it's like, no, and I'm trying to skip through all of their boring bullshit to get to what I need done.
Yeah.
It's like... So I basically just get frustrated with them, is what I do. Okay, so if I reset it, it's sideways. So the big problem I've got here is I got to get it from sideways. That's Rogue taking out his big giant stick that he was playing with by the river.
He does have a thing about sticks.
He does, and the bigger the better for him.
So get a giant bone and put a boot on the end of it and have them carried around for Halloween, or just in general.
Just gotta get one of those big giant bones first.
Well, that's not hard. I can't remember what the place is called, but place like all the camping stuff and everything. They have those big giant bones there.
Yeah, well,
they're made for dogs with high prey drive.
Yeah.
Who always want to chew.
Well,
although he doesn't just chew, he peels. A black bear? I guess he is like a tiny black bear.
Yeah, he is. He is like a tiny black bear. You know.
He's certainly grumpy like a little black bear that just woke up from winter sleep.
Sometimes.
He gets so grumpy.
Sometimes. I'll have to try taking some videos using landscape mode on the phone next time.
Hey, there you go.
See if that works any better for presenting them. Then we can present some random videos from Doggo.
Yeah, he's a cool dog. One of the things I really like about him is he's really easy to teach. I mean, whether or not he chooses to listen thereafter is a whole different matter, but he's really easy to teach.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he is easy to teach, but he doesn't always want to listen, that's for damn sure.
No, he does not.
He listens on his terms sometimes. It's like, no, dog, this isn't how it works. He's getting better, though. He really is. He's getting way better from what I had him in the beginning. All right, we've hit the time frame, folks. All right, a little bit of music. Let's carry us into proper showtime.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty, it must be time.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress Plugins A to Z, not Z.
It's episode 649, and we have plugins for invoicing and navigating with some WordPress news, all coming up on WordPress Plugins from A to Z. WordPress, the king of content management systems, powering the web with over 80,000 plugins to choose from. How do you sort the junk from the gems? Welcome to WP Plugins A-Z, where we've been keeping the pulse of WordPress alive for over 16 incredible years. Join us every week for an unrehearsed, real talk breakdowns of the latest and greatest plugins, developer and community member interviews. Some weeks, Amber and I team up to dig in. Others, I'm flying solo, unpacking WordPress news, demoing a standout plugin, or sharing tips to power up your site. No scripts, no fluff, just the good stuff from A to Z. So plug in and let's get rolling. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the brewery over in beautiful southern Vancouver Island. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber Overall.
There you go. That was perfect timing almost.
Yeah.
Getting that one down. At any rate, we've got a great show for you. A couple of quick things off the top. As you can see now, switching right in there, we're luring Amber out into the open, folks. Little by little, we've got a picture on here. What we need is we need a whole ton of people over here on the live stream, and that for sure will help pull her into video. So you actually get to see what she looks like. Keep that one in mind, folks. For those of you listening on downloads, hey, you're going to have to come over to the live stream and listen to us, man, to help boost those numbers. Other than that, we don't really have a whole heck of a lot. The pre-stream was just full of all kinds of randomness, me trying to do things and showing little videos of my doggo. With that being said, Amber's favorite piece.
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
Yeah, it is my favorite sound clip. Just a quick question though, for those listening, when Dad's doing his intro, can you hear him over the music? Because I find that I can't really hear you over the music, and I'm wondering if that like travels into what other people hear, or if it's just the way my system picks up sound.
Okay.
So
it could be your system picking up sound. I listen to it from time to time. Usually sounds about right. Yeah. See, it has the way our sound is. What happens is it's loud until you talk. As soon as you talk, it automatically goes down because of the way Teams works.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for the feedback, you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, so for today, I just want to do a quick happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Mine was pretty awesome, thanks to my daughters. Hopefully everyone else had a really good Mother's Day too. We are now at episode 649. The title for today, they're just getting longer. Dive deep into plugin pools with WP Plugins A-Z. Your WordPress adventure starts here. Before I know it, the title is going to be like 3 lines long.
No, that's about the maximum we can use. Google won't accept any more letters than that.
Okay.
I think I was 5 letters shy of maxing it out today when I put it in.
Well, we've got a couple of great in-depth plugins to cover for you, some recent news in both the WordPress world and the tech world in general, and some awesome WordPress tips. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm definitely looking forward to going swimming. That picture makes me want to go swimming so badly. I've seen lakes and areas that look like that with the beautiful, clean look that, yeah, I really want to go swimming now.
Yeah.
The water's too cold here.
It's nice. It's a nice photo or graphic image that was created. Photorealistic is what it is. Firefly created that one, so, you know.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of reminders for today. We have this show and another show going, so you join in at 12:30 every single Monday, and you will hear John and I, or just John, as he does his interviews. Show notes are added for this show. I guess show notes for both are added at WP Plugins.
Yep, show notes are added at WP Plugins A-Z.
A-Z.com within 24 hours after the show is airing. If you want to see our previous shows at all, you can go to the podcast vaults on our site. And this is a value for value show, so give us some loving. Help us out. We'll help you out. Scratch your back and you scratch ours, we'll scratch yours. Give us some love, and we'll send some loving back. Help you get a step up and out into the world if you are looking for it. So as Joe mentioned, today's artist is Firefly. I was honestly going to guess Grok.
No, Grok, I've tried a few images lately with Grok. He still hasn't quite come around again to these nice, fantastic images like this.
Have you tried this site? Like I only use him on grok.com now. I don't use him on Twitter anymore.
No, I haven't tried there. I only go there when I'm doing code.
Yeah, I actually only use him on the grok.com now because there, not only does he have access to previous conversations, but he's more able to like respond to you. I'm having a hard time getting him to respond properly on Twitter at all now.
I guess he's got split personalities now. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's got Grok 1 and Grok 2. Although this is apparently Grok 3, so I don't know where 1 and 2 exist. Probably somewhere in the world.
Yeah, on some hard drive somewhere. All right. Well, with that, let's wander.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! And now the news with Amber.
So if anybody feels that we're missing some important news here, send them in to us or just throw it into the comments and we'll get it up if you think it's really important that other people be aware of this. Always happy to receive news from people who listen to our show. First thing we got for today is the WordPress vulnerability report from Solid WP. In this report, there are 88 vulnerabilities, which is a heck of a lot better than 300 that we had last time. Currently, the 82 are plugins, with 6 being themes. All 6 themes have been patched, and out of the plugins, we have 40 that have been patched. 42 are still unpatched. Definitely have a look through those, check them out, see what you recognize, and be aware, and let your clients make your clients aware of things going on too. And then we have the WordPress vulnerability report from PatchStack. Now, these guys always have the latest information on what's going on, and it is really good to go and check them out for the most up-to-date information. You can look at plugins, themes, all kinds of options here. Definitely worth a look. Next up, we have WordPress WooCommerce bug causing sites to crash. Now, this is a little older. It's from May 6th, and it appears that WooCommerce has kind of found a fix, but doesn't seem to be entirely permanent. Mostly seems to be workarounds that other people come up with. You can find the workarounds about halfway down this article, or you can go to GitHub and check it out. But do be aware that if you're having issues, you probably, and you have WooCommerce, it's probably the culprit if you're not already aware of this.
Yeah, this was last week. It was a random bug that just started appearing. Nobody knows exactly why.
I think I do know why.
Do you?
Yeah, and now I'm not sure if this is why.
There's a problem in the code, but there weren't updates done or anything that I was able to read about what.
The next thing we have here is WP query changes in WordPress 6.8.
Oh.
I think that might be part of the cause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think this is part of the reason why these bugs are popping up, because I'm noticing that's happening with a few different plugins right now. And my personal belief, I haven't seen anything confirm this, is that this is why, because the WP query get method and the WP query, the query _VARS, they have always been considered things that are, the normal kind of argument. They were understandable.
Yeah.
They have been completely separated now. They are considered entirely different entities, which means that plugins that were using them in a certain way are no longer being recognized by WordPress because 6.8 changed the way that it works. Huh. Yeah, so I think this might be the reason why.
That could be the reason. Maybe people just haven't connected the dots there yet.
Yeah, so this is very important for people to be aware of. The WP query has changed. Yeah, Look at this article, check it out.
Yeah, I missed that piece of news. I didn't catch it. So good to know.
Yeah. The next thing I have here is a warning to developers. Stay away from these 10 VS Code extensions. So for whoever is using the VS, the Microsoft, I can't remember what VS stands for, video and sound, I think.
Okay.
There are 10 extensions that are listed here. Just avoid them. It causes so many issues. It's not worth it.
Good to know.
Yeah. If you can, unless you have a whole lot invested in the VS, I would recommend going with something else entirely if you can. And then the last thing I have here, it's called Sherlock Holmes, the case of the content length mismatch. I love this article. Sherlock Holmes has always been one of my superheroes, kind of like most people love Superman. I've always loved Sherlock. So this is a really cool article, really well written, very interactive, and I actually learned quite a bit when I was reading it. So definitely worth reading over.
Okay, we'll check it all out.
And then we have a whole bunch of extras here just below. It's got some other interesting stuff like what is vibe coding and some information on the WordPress Jubilee as it continues.
The continuing saga on WordPress Jubilee. At that. Let's wander on the Rogue's Corner. All right, I got a couple of things this week. One, a really cool website came to my attention. It's called GeoCities Live. And what you can do in it, have all kinds of fun. You can go take your favorite website, copy the URL, go paste it into this, and in a matter of minutes, it will reproduce the site in late 1990s, early 2000s, GeoCities setup with all the flames and buttons and everything else, all the cool, fun shit. Basically, it's just something for fun.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, give it a sec. We're loading. Here we go.
Almost there.
Almost there. We're almost there. Let it chew out for a moment. At any rate, here it is, redirecting to this. There it is. There is WPPluginsAtoZ in GeoCities setup with the flashing contact us, the spinning sign in, the visitor counter going to the moon, and then the ever ready under construction buttons because it's always under construction.
Yes.
First time I did it, I went, oh God, yes, that's a GeoCities site. That's absolutely, they have captured the essence of it. You know, even the flames, and get ready for some rad content. So there
and
you
the
go.
stars.
All right, so I just thought that'd be fun to bring to the show. All right, some new features in the Hello Elementor theme. I don't have anything to display on them, but if you use the Hello Elementor theme on your Elementor builds, they have added some new features to the theme, and what it does now, it sticks in a new menu icon, and in that menu icon, it gives you some settings to, one, turn off the page titles, which I'd written a plugin to deal with, and it also gives you easy access to the AI and more controls over the CSS and SEO and accessibility setup on it. So if you're using that, go check out those new features, because if you do the update, it's going to be there. It's not going to impact your site, but all of a sudden you'll see, like, I think it was 3 days after I did an update. Now, where'd this icon come from? Where'd this menu come from? Oh, okay. So at any rate, something to go check out. Another little piece of news. We made it into the top 3 of a new top 20 WordPress podcast listing. Right behind WP Builds and WP Tavern is WordPress
Which is
plugin.
really cool.
Yeah, it's from FeedSpot. So I thought that was kind of cool that people are recognizing us once again. And I finally beat out the jukebox. And I finally beat out your website engineer. I've been trying to beat him for years. So at any rate, go check that one out. It's a really great place. You can find a whole bunch of additional WordPress podcasts in that list. Another little item, you can catch me. I was a guest on episode 333 for WP Builds, which was out last week with Nathan, Dave, and Wendy. It was a really great show. Lots of fun. Thanks, Nathan, for hosting me. I really appreciate it. All right, and tips of the day, we have 2 of them. One, don't forget to go check out Influence WP for all the deals. And other miscellaneous things. You don't have to be a partner. You can become a consumer with a minor annual fee and access the deals that are available there. And every week, Ryan is adding new partners and deals to this website. He's been adding them at the rate of about 2 or 3 a week, I've seen. Sometimes many more than that. So go check that out. Also, if you're looking for an alternate site for WordPress plugins, go check out the repo.org. Another great, cool place to find WordPress plugins, including one of ours. Now, I do have a pet peeve this week, just to whine about. And this irritates me to no end. When I see someone, they put something out on Twitter, they create a post about it, they talk, all online somewhere, they talk about a great product or a great this or look at that, check it out, and then they make you guess where to find it. Go online and search. Would it be much harder to drop a link in there to what you're talking about? That's all I ask. Just a link, a simple link. I've seen that several times this last week, and it just sort of bent me sideways. It's like, really? I really wanted to know about this. Now I got to search and try to analyze it through the maze that is Google now. So just drop a link in,
and you're
folks.
getting calls for preach.
What's that?
You're getting calls for preach.
Yeah, well, I got to do it, man. It's because people just don't drop links. It's like, what is it, a secret? You're bragging about it. It's not a secret. Give us the link.
Well, just before you move on here, Hendian brought something that is very interesting to know. If you're playing with AI, I found ChatGPT has a 1,500 character limit for its custom instruction. But you can create a much longer instruction, put it on a web page, and change the custom instruction to just read that web page, which gets around the size limit. Now I'm working on getting the AI to update that page with what they learned during a chat. Give it a memory that spans multiple chats.
Oh, dear God. The things people are doing with AI, we're turning it into something that just will be, I'm not sure if it's going to be incredibly good or incredibly bad yet. Time will tell.
I don't know. I think some are incredibly good and some are incredibly bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a video not too long ago about, you remember that robo lady?
Yeah.
She got upset because one of the interviewers was like, hey, my ex Siri, and he actually made her uncomfortable, and she said, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we've got all kinds of strange things happening. And on that note, let's dive into some plugins. All right, the first plugin I've got for you this week is called PDF Invoices and Packing Slips for WooCommerce. The joy of this plugin is that it's free. And most of the PDF invoicing plugins, they give you a half-assed PDF invoice, and it doesn't always work, or there's issues with it or whatever. And then if you want the ones that work, you got to go pay them for it. I can understand that. Everyone needs to make a buck or two, but once in a while, it's nice to get something as simple as PDFing your WooCommerce invoices without having to go pay another $40 a year fee. Because let's face it, we're all feed out, every one of us. We've got so many license fees going. It's like, how many can we handle? So at any rate, this is a really great one. It automatically adds PDF UBL invoice to the order confirmation emails. It also automatically emails the PDF invoice to your client on confirmation, which saves some grief because some people need to print their invoices for tax purposes or whatever other reasons. And it's automatic, and you can also regenerate them at any point in time you want. And it is customizable through HTML, CSS templates, but you got to get in there and do some hardcore work to fix that one up for you. All in all, just a great, simple plugin to add to your WooCommerce to create PDF invoices. And I give it a nice 5 dragon rating. All right. Now, the second one I've got for you, I've brought this one before, so basically I'm just bringing an update to it. This is one of my plugins. It's the Gravity Forms Enhanced Tools. I spent some time last week adding some features to it and recoding it a little bit. I've added new features to it, so now it not only tracks down spam with all the other methods it had before, it allows you to define a list of custom common words to exclude from the spamming. It also allows you to go in and use regex and regular phrase matching. And it also does something I really needed done for a client, and that was they were getting spammed because we use, a minimum character block for the discussion, and people were bashing the keyboard with random text to get around that, or they were repeating the same 3-word phrase over and over. So now it is encoded so that if someone bashes with random text, it's automatically spam. Or if they repeat the same phrases over and over, boom, it's instant spam. So just a couple of enhancements to this plugin. Go check it out. It's available over at WPPluginsAtoZ.com, and it's a new release of the Gravity Forms Enhanced tools. All righty.
No, that one's my favorite.
Oh, of course it is.
So, for the WordPress tips, we would love to hear some tidbit tips from some of our producers out there. What have you figured out by breaking something? Or what did you need to learn in order to help someone else who broke something? You can send these tidbit tips in to me at amber@WPPro.ca. So my tip to you today, a little bit of a backstory to the tip I want to offer is, I think the hardest thing that I've had to learn to do with raising kids is standing back, keeping myself from helping them as I watch them trying to complete tasks. Like take pancakes. They flip them too early, make a mess, turn the heat up too high, then down too low. The kitchen has become a nuclear mess. The poor cast iron pan, it needs some serious TLC after the kids are learning to make pancakes. It's just a total disaster. But you have to keep yourself standing back and just give them advice on how to do it, and then teach them how to clean it up. And it's going to take about 50 times longer for the whole process. But the amount of information and the amount of things that they learn during that whole 20-hour process is a lot. And then next time they make pancakes are a little bit better. And it gets better and better every time. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because it's the same kind of idea when you have an apprentice or any kind of charge, whether you're in the trades, in an office, wherever you are. When you are teaching somebody, you got to exert the same kind of self-control where you have to stand back, grit your teeth, grab your hands behind your back to keep yourself from getting in there and typing things yourself and doing it all yourself, because they got to learn. Same kind of disaster as what the kitchen is when you're teaching kids to make pancakes is the same kind of disaster that the site is going to be the first time they make it. Kind of GeoCities worthy for the first site that a person makes.
Yes. Your GeoCities site's still online somewhere. Or your GeoCity worthy site. I've still got it somewhere.
So it's the tip I have to offer today is to remember that you started out being that crazy GeoCity person as well, and think about everything you learned by breaking absolutely everything you touched for the first couple of years. Just be patient, and if you have to step outside to go for a coffee and watch the birds or something, come back, give them a couple more suggestions, and leave again. Just leave them to their mess, they'll figure it out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, now for your plugin.
So, plugin I have today is called Dashboard Navigator. This was sent in to us by Oliver Jones with Plum Island Media. The plugin is designed to make it a heck of a ton easier to find anything you need in absolutely anybody's dashboard without having to strain your eyes or your brain. I know in the very few years I've been doing this, I've come across some uniquely colored dashboards, and I myself have completely rearranged my dashboard to work for my brain. So this was designed to overcome these personality types. And what you do is once this is installed and activated, you'll see a white search box with a little nautical sign at the top of your left-hand menu with the placeholder text Navigator. Now you can either double tap the shift button and just start writing for a full drop-down list of options connected to whatever word you wrote in there and hit enter. Or you can do the work of moving your mouse pointer up to the little box and clicking before you start typing. And I'm not even being facetious when I say the work of moving your mouse, because I'm sure anyone who has spent 12 to 18 hours on a computer is aware of that feeling where they don't want to move their arm to the mouse again. They want to keep their hands on the keyboard and not move their arms anymore, just the keyboard. So having a keyboard shortcut is fantastic.
That it is.
So this search bar has been created, works by sending a small JavaScript file to your browser for every dashboard page, allowing a drop-down list to be created for you. No matter what you type in, so long as the word is in your backend somewhere, you will be able to receive a drop-down list of options when you search for it. There is some fantastic FAQs in the Dashboard Navigator's WordPress page. Some of the answers are actually worth mentioning here, so I'm going to go ahead and read them out. This plugin will not slow down your site for your users because it does nothing on your site's front-end pages, and all it is doing for your dashboard is adding one small JavaScript file. The plugin does work for languages right to left and left to right. Each user on your site can enable or disable this as they choose on their own profile. This plugin will find information on your own self-made plugins, as well as it includes the top-level menus and submenus created by your plugin and other plugins. And just from everything I've seen, I get the sense that if you have any questions, these guys won't mind answering you at all. The plugin is really very lightweight, plays really well with others, and is entirely free. I don't think you can get much better than that. I rate this at 5 dragons.
Very cool. All right. On we go. Oh, I guess we have...
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A-Z.
I think I hit the wrong jingle.
You did, but I'm not sure if we have a jingle for announcements, do we?
I think I'd thought about it a few times.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, 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 wow.
How's that?
That's about where my brain is, but I don't think that works for miscellaneous announcements.
All right. Sooner or later, we'll figure one out. Maybe some of the listeners out there will eventually start sending us jingles again.
Only because we are so absolutely pathetic.
Yeah. Well, you know.
See, this is what happens when you guys leave us to our own devices.
you get strange stuff. It's like leaving the kids out to their own devices. Next thing you know, they're sitting on the trash can lid being drugged through the snow by a four-wheeler.
I mean, to be fair, you and I both have ADHD, which is probably why we tend to go so left-wing randomly. Mm-hmm. All right, back to what we were talking about, miscellaneous announcements. Yep. So if you have an announcement like you're going to be up on a WordCamp stage or there's a meetup you want to let the world know about, let us know. We'll put it here and help get your news out to the world. I have the next 5 WordCamps listed here for you and the link for centralwordcamp.org if you are interested. We also have the meetup.com WordPress link here if you're interested.
Yep.
And then since you already made the jingle, I'll just continue on to
affiliates.
To everything.
Affiliates is next. Our affiliates here, we don't do affiliates very often, and we've only got currently 3 of them. The first one here is Termageddon, and Termageddon is a way to easily and safely comply with all of the privacy policies and terms and disclaimer notices and cookie notices you need for your website in the ever-changing world of the laws, as they constantly change the laws every 2 weeks, it seems. You know, these guys here, you set it all up, answer a bunch of questions, and they keep your policy up to date based upon how you answered those questions to whatever part of the globe you live on or whatever part of the globe you service. It's quite affordable, $119 a year for it. Go check it out. And if you use our affiliate link, it doesn't cost you any more or any less, but we make a couple of bucks off the deal. So go check out Termageddon.
And then we also have Rank Math. Yeah, we are kind of picky about who we affiliate with. Rank Math is pretty fantastic, though. I've been working with them for quite a while. They specialize in SEO. The free version will give you everything you need to get started. So if you're just a small business and you're just kind of wanting your SEO, these are the perfect guys to go to. It's only when you're getting super fancy that you need to go up, but they're really decent price. Treat everyone the same. Whether you are a paying customer or using their free version, they will help you the same way is what I found. I really like their customer service. They're great guys. You can click on our affiliate link there.
And the final one is bunny.net. And I discovered bunny.net. They were referred to me by a friend of mine who I used his affiliate link to sign up. And now I'm an affiliate of them. They're a very affordable CDN network. You can send gigabytes of data through them, and it only costs you a couple of bucks a month, which is the joy and benefit of BunnyNet. And their distribution is global, and it's a very nice feature to have. So speeds up your site by delivering all of your necessary content, such as videos or audio or even your images, to a centralized CDN network across the globe. Go check them out, bunny.net. All right, now we've already played the donation jingle. Take it away.
Yep. So for donations, if you are interested in receiving a producership credit, which these are a real thing, you can donate to us through your time, talent, or treasure. If you are interested in figuring out what that means exactly, you can go to our website and check out the time, talent, or treasure tabs on our left-hand menu there, and they'll tell you all about it. You can also use us to get your news out there. Like you can have us do an interview for you so people can learn about what you are doing. You can give us your announcements to get out to the world. Donations are anything that you feel you can add to this show. And today's plugins we covered were?
I covered up the PDF invoices and packing slips for WooCommerce, and by WP Overnight, and it auto attaches the invoice of PDF or the packing slip to WooCommerce emails, fully customizable HTML, CSS invoice templates, and available in 19 languages if you need to edit it all out. And I gave it a 5 dragon rating. And the other one was the updates, new release of the Gravity Forms Enhanced Tools by WP Pro A-Z. So customized common words, improved logging, keyword spam detection for random incoherent text, and more. Go check it out. And that one too, I gave a 5 dragon rating. So I didn't properly give it the rating when I talked about it. But it's always a 5 dragon rating. After all, it is my plugin.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotta toot your own horn.
Gotta toot my own horn.
And I covered Dashboard Navigator by Ollie Jones. Places search box at top of left-hand menu, making it easier to find things. Lightweight and plays well with others. Keyboard shortcut where you double tap shift and start typing. I really do like this plugin.
Yeah, it looks like
I rate it 5 dragons.
Looks like a nice plugin to add in there to navigate around the back end, especially if you end up like we do on some websites with a really whole bunch of plugins and menus and yeah, it makes it easier to find what you're looking for.
It also, because it's such a lightweight thing, you can toss it into a site you're working on and just remove it when you're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll help you navigate all kinds of things in a new to you website where you have to do a bunch of tweaking. And I mean, it's awesome. Yeah. I think this was brilliantly made.
Yeah, absolutely. So it would be time for...
It's question and answer time with John and Amber.
No, you were supposed to give out the contact info, weren't you?
I am, but you started doing that. It's like, okay, sure, I'll just throw in contact information right before I go to that.
Okay, well, you know, I'm slightly off kilter this week, you know.
How much coffee have you had today?
This is only my second carafe.
Carafe?
Yeah.
So like your 4th cup?
Third. I'm on my 3.5 cup. See, this is the carafe. See the carafe? This is the carafe. It's not very big. It holds 2.5 cups.
You are a little extra zoomy today, and definitely kind of rushing ahead. You're like a rabbit that's been startled. It's kind of funny.
No, I'm just losing track of where we're supposed to be in the show notes.
Yes. Can't blame the coffee. You like the coffee now.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody out there is interested in reaching out to us, we do have our brick and mortar address right here, and we have our internet addresses too for more immediate reaching out. Now for the Q&A here, if anybody out there has any questions they'd like to have asked here on the show, you can send them in to me at amber@wppro.ca. You can send them in an attempt to stump my dad, or you can send him in just because you honestly have a question and think he could answer it really well. And if he can't answer it, probably one of our listeners can. We have some pretty smart people who come in and help answer some of these questions. I really like that about this show.
Yeah, they add to it quite nicely, especially when when I only have half an answer or a little bit of an answer.
So my first question for you is, when someone comes to you with a slow running site, what is the first culprit you go looking for?
Well, it depends on who you are, but the first thing I actually look at is their hosting provider. I want to know who their web hosting provider is, and then you can check to see how many other websites are on that server with them, because that's a major impact. That's not always the problem, but that's one of the first things I look at. After that, I start looking at the build of the website, and I always knew it before, but now I start looking at their database. How many plugins do they have on their site? How many have they had in the past? Things of that nature, because I've been guilty of it myself. We were having trouble with WPPluginsAtoZ, piss poor loading time. And I finally got around to properly cleaning the database. And once I did that, the speed was instantly restored. Mainly because, well, the website's been running for 16 years. It's had 5 different themes thrown on it. It's had hundreds of plugins added and removed over that time. And probably a good 70% of the plugins don't clean up after themselves when they leave. They leave all
that is frustrating.
They leave all their mess behind the database, and it's a pain in the neck to clean that stuff up. And the WP database, or DB Cleaner Pro, I think that's WP DB Cleaner Pro. I can't remember the name exactly of it, but it's a paid premium plugin, and the license is really quite cheap. And you can turn it on a site, activate it. When you're all done, deactivate it, and then you can reuse the license on another site, which is a really nice feature about it. So you can only buy it once, and you can use it everywhere you need to clean up, because you only need to clean it up. You don't need to leave the plugin running. Some people do and let it do automatic cleanup. Never let things do automatic cleanup of your database. You will most likely regret it.
Most auto things are kind of a bad idea, especially over a longer period of time. Because it's never a good idea.
But one of the biggest and first culprits I look at now is databases. But I still look to the hosting provider and see what hosting provider there, because there is a difference in hosting providers. Some are fast and some aren't so fast, and some of them, they overload their servers with 500, 1,000 clients on one server.
Oh dear.
And if you get one bad actor or even a dozen bad actors on there, it brings the whole server to a crawl. You know, the server's trying to serve it up. It even happens on my servers occasionally, where I limit the number of clients per server, but every once in a while a site might go viral, or a site might just suddenly be hammered by a bot farm, and then I've got to take action to limit that site's usage. And this happens a lot on other hosting providers who oversell their servers, because that's how they make their money, is by overselling their servers. So, but yeah, slow running sites, the biggest culprits nowadays is database issues. And everyone, you'll hear it said a lot, too many plugins. It's like, no, the argument was on Twitter last week or the week before, how many plugins are too many, or how many are enough? Well, as many plugins as you need to get the job done is how many it is. And there's no difference between using a plugin, unless it's a poorly written plugin, using a plugin and adding your own custom code. You're still adding code to the site. Now, if it's a poorly written plugin, yeah, that can be a problem, but that's a whole different ball of wax. So anyway, that's where I look at.
So the issue isn't the plugins. The issue is when the plugins that have been removed didn't clean up after themselves.
That's it, because they're still leaving behind stuff in your database that is called. And it started last year when I saw this new warning that pops up with the auto load functions in the database. And the auto load is their little pieces of code in the database that gets auto loaded every single time a page is loaded on WordPress. And the auto load needs to be less than 1 meg in size. And many of the auto load functions are like 5, 10, 15K, but you get a couple hundred of them, several hundred of them. Now it's loading up every one of those every single time. And some of the auto load functions I cleaned up on our site, some of them were as high as 600K.
Oh, geez.
You know, so it's like, it's loading that stuff before it even loads your page. So
that makes sense.
that stuff is still in the database. Even though there's no plugin using it, it's still being called because it's in the database and it's set to auto load. So at any rate, that's
Before I move on to the next question, Hemdian totally has your back. He said, yes, off kilter in an off kilter world. Doesn't that make you on kilter?
Maybe. It could very well make me on kilter. Thanks, Hemdian. Always glad to hear from you.
So the next question is, what is the most outlandish or uncommon reason you have seen for a slow-moving site in your experience so far?
Let's see. What is the most outlandish one? Somebody had installed something in the footer. I can't recall. Yeah, they just added a chunk of code in the footer for calling in something off-site. And it was choking it up. There's been multiple things like that. It's usually the most outlandish thing is usually somebody adding a piece of code that calls something that breaks everything or tries to load itself in the wrong order. I can't think of a precise one, but I have seen some oddball shit over the years. You know, I've seen random things. Plugins that do strange things, themes that do strange things.
Plugin?
Well, that's the Phantom update plugin. The plugin, it keeps telling you need an update, but you can't figure out what plugin needs the update.
That's because there is no other plugin that needs an update.
There is. There is. It's not going to show you. I've had that happen to me off and on dozens of times over the years, and I've never been able to solve it. Well, I've never spent hours tracking it down to solve it. I just sort of accept it.
Yeah, okay. It Phantom plugin. I've tried updating every single plugin, like just double checking, making sure they're all up to date. It was still there.
Oh, did you go and manually download them and re-upload them?
Yes.
Oh, and it was still there.
Yes.
Oh, well, it could have been a theme.
But it says a plugin.
Oh, no, it says it's in the plugins. I don't know. You're right. It's always in the plugin menu. It's got a little red one, and there's no apparent reason for it. Yeah, I've never. It happens. I should take a poll on Twitter and see if this has happened to other people, or maybe you can take a poll on Twitter. Ask how many other people have encountered this exact problem, because obviously it is a problem because it's happened to you. It's happened to me. I don't know who else it's happened to, and there were different sites that they occur on. So.
And it drives me up the wall because I don't like the little red thing. I don't like the color red. It makes me cranky.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is. So, all right. That's
Hemdian said, I use optimized database after deleting revisions, which I run manually once a week. It includes removing older revisions, transients, etc., and frees up disk space, but not sure what impact it has on performance.
It has freeing up transients and the shit. I just lost the word you said before. Older revisions. Freeing up transients and revisions has minimal impact on performance. It's less that it has to call. There, but it's a minimal impact on the performance I have found. The biggest thing that has impact on performance is when you're cleaning up the auto load stuff. And that's the one that I have seen have the biggest impact on things. And what's the plugin here? Now I got to go look it up. Go look up this plugin for folks.
I think you did have it right. DB Database Optimizer or something.
No, it's not DB Database Optimizer. It's a completely different one. Trying to remember.
WordPress DB?
No. Yeah, I know where to find it. Let's see here. I know. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Advanced Database Cleaner Pro is what it is. Advanced Database Cleaner. They have a free version, but the free version allows you to see things that need to be cleaned, but they don't allow you to sort it and pick out. The biggest thing to pick out is orphaned components inside the database. It's the stuff that's left behind that isn't attached to any plugins or themes anymore. It's like I cleaned up one database of orphans. The database was, oh God, it was almost a gigabyte in size. By the time I cleaned up all the orphans and all the other crap in the database, I had the database down to 400 megs. You know,
Wow.
that was the kind of junk that was in the database. You know, even our database was 200 or 300 megs in size. By the time I cleaned it up, it was down to 198 megs.
So what is this called?
Advanced Database Cleaner Pro. Or Advanced Database Cleaner. You can get the free version from WordPress.org, and then you can go to their site and buy the Pro version. Like I said, the Pro version.
Okay, well, just in case anybody's interested,
Mhm.
there's the link right there that
Yeah.
you can go to. It's on WordPress.org.
Yep.
I just wanted to be able to send that, especially after you're whining about the lack of URLs earlier.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, the thing is these URLs, we easily stuff them in our show notes. They can go to our show notes and get all the stuff that we're talking about. It's not like we don't put them out there. They just sometimes got to wait 24 hours to get it all. You know, it's not instantaneous. There's no instant gratification. We lack in instant gratification, unfortunately.
All right. Well, I have 2 more questions for after the show credits.
All right. And for those of you listening to download, you want to hear the cool stuff? Come listen to the YouTubes for after the show credits. With that, I'm going to let our girl take us on out of here.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at WPPluginsAtoZ.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A-Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to WPPluginsAtoZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using WPPluginsAtoZ.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsAtoZ. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
There we be. All right, we're back to the YouTubes.
Yep, time for me to peck at your brain a little bit more like Woodpecker.
All right, let's see what you got next.
Have you ever had a site that runs slow, but you just can't for the life of you figure out why?
Yeah, and
Yeah?
I think I finally ended up just slapping caching on the website to speed it up. Because that is
Does it
that is a last ditch effort. Because everyone
Okay.
talks about put it in caching. Everyone, whenever they're slow, they just automatically run the caching. It's like, no, caching is the last thing you should be using.
How come?
Because the site should run fast without caching. It should automatically run fast without caching. If it's not running fast without caching, there's something wrong somewhere. Either database issues, server issues, coding issues, over plugin issues, too many calls on a page. There's something going on. There's a whole litany of stuff you can look at and read and find out. But the caching should be the last thing. I mean, in the end, caching does help. The problem I've always had with caching is over the years, and I'm not knock on wood because I've been lucky lately, but it seems like caching works great for several months, and then all of a sudden it just starts having issue after issue after issue. You know, where the pages don't load, or loads half the page, or suddenly the forms don't work, or this doesn't work, or that quits working, and then you got to go in and you got to tweak and adjust and do things, and it's like caching is not the end all be all. You know, the one caching I haven't tested yet, which I understand does seem to be good, is using Cloudflare, because Cloudflare is caching. You know, they serve your site as a cached website. You know, they're a firewall for you. They get all the content from you, and then they serve it back to the internet. You know,
so kind of like BunnyNet does with the images and videos?
Yeah, kind of like what BunnyNet does with CDN, with the CDN network.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I hadn't really looked too deeply into what Cloudflare is, but that does actually sound like a neat idea.
Well, I need to. I really need to, because there's a couple of clients I want to push to Cloudflare, simply because one of the biggest benefits of Cloudflare is to cut down or eliminate almost all bot problems on your site, because Cloudflare intercepts the bots before they get to you, and they keep your website running smoothly. So that's one of the reasons why I want to use it. And I just haven't made the time to properly use it. I use it for a couple of my clients have it, and I use it for them, but I've only peripherally studied it. I've not sat down and properly figured out how it works, mainly because I have so many things I do. It's like you can only devote so much time. If I could clone myself or I didn't need to sleep, I'd be fine. One of those two.
Influence WP says Cloudflare plus server level caching for the win.
Yep.
Try not to get involved in page caching plugins.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Well, that's
why
why
no page caching plugins.
Well, that's what I was talking about caching. They're all page caching plugins. And Cloudflare and server level caching, that works very well too. Now I do have minor server level caching on my servers. I don't have it full blown, but Cloudflare,
But then not all of your clients are on your servers.
80-90% of my clients are on my servers. I only have 1 or 2 clients that are not on my servers.
You is in the more general you, not you specifically. I mean, not everybody's going to have their own servers for their clients, and not everybody's going to have all their clients on their own servers. No, they're not. They have to go out there. Very few people, not very few, few people run their own server services. Exactly.
It's not an easy task unto itself.
So Cloudflare kind of solves that issue, it seems. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Cloudflare solves a lot of things. So Cloudflare is great.
All right. My next question is, what do you do when a site runs slow because of the way the entire thing was built? Is there a way to help it run faster other than rebuilding it?
You know this one already.
I do, but I'm asking questions for the public.
I got to be cautious how I answer and respond to this one, because we have been dealing with this for a particular client for a while now. They don't want to rebuild, so we have to go in, and what we've been doing is you have to go in. We had to add caching. We had to add additional things. We've had to go in and rewrite code for the theme, because the theme is the problem. We know where the problem is on this one. It's the theme. And we've had to rewrite things for the theme. We've had to redo multiple stuff. If they won't rebuild, they will spend almost as much money having you fix all of these things and get it half-assed as they would have as if they'd let you rebuild it.
But at the same time, for those who really have no choice, in the same way that we didn't have a choice, being able to go in and rewrite the code is going to be a requirement in order to help the site run faster, is my understanding.
That's exactly what it is.
I'm not the one who's doing that aspect of it. I'm doing other aspects, but...
Well, that's exactly what it is. W3 Total Cache, my least favorite plugin. I have disliked it for about 10 years.
How come?
They did a piss poor job of rewrite. I liked it when it was first introduced. Like W3 Total Cache has been around for about 14-15 years, and they did a really good job in the beginning. Then they rewrote it, and they made such a mess of it that it didn't function very well, so I abandoned them. And they may be better. They may be better now. I've just not used them. I just got so put off with them, I won't use them anymore.
Fair enough.
But yeah, WP Total Cache, it's never been my favorite.
But that's interesting. He said he's used it with a non-WP site.
Oh, yeah. Well, how did you use W3 Total Cache with a non-WordPress website? I thought that was just a strict plugin for WordPress.
Mostly static HTML, too.
Yeah.
He said.
I didn't know W3 Total Cache did that. Okay.
That's a cool idea. See, that's something I don't really ever consider, is whether or not a plugin for WordPress can be used elsewhere. I guess that it can, though.
I guess. I really don't know. I'd have to know a little more about how that was done. But, okay. But yeah, that's what you do. If they're not going to rebuild it, you're going to have to go in, rewrite code, tweak this part here, tweak that part there, you know, change up the functions, reorder the loading of JavaScript and jQuery and images, reorganize the loading of it. You know, I'm trying to remember all the different things I've done. But
basically go in and tweak it little by little, and every time you poke it into new direction, step back and see how it works.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you can do.
Oh, he used Cloudflare with non-WP
Oh,
site.
Cloudflare can be used on anything.
Yeah.
Cloudflare is an anything use. I thought you were talking about W3 Total Cache on a.
So did I.
Yeah.
My bad. I misunderstood. But
yeah,
Cloudflare
can be used for anything to speed it up and protect it. Cloudflare protects the domain, is what Cloudflare protects. It protects your domain and hides the IP address your domain is on. And one of the ways you use Cloudflare is the best time to set up Cloudflare is when you're moving your website to a new server or to a new IP address. Because what happens is, as the bots find you, they stop hitting you through your domain name. They start hitting you through your IP address. So when you move to a new server or to a new IP address, you have a new IP address, you set up Cloudflare at that instant in time. What happens is the bots go to the old IP. They're like, that site doesn't exist, and they're instantly killed. They start hunting around. They go, oh, I remember that domain. They start hunting around for the domain. They hit Cloudflare, and Cloudflare sends them into the deep pool of the abyss.
Huh.
So
that's kind of cool.
That's the best time to set up Cloudflare, is when you're moving to a new IP or to a new server. Because then the bots can't find you. Because if you just set up Cloudflare while you've been on a server for a while, it's the same IP address. They already know your IP address. So they'll just bypass your domain and go straight to the IP.
Hemdian said, right now I'm struggling with Accelerate WP, which my host changed me to from W3 Total Cache. I've never heard of that one.
Accelerate WP.
Yeah.
I know the name, but I don't think I've ever looked at it. Yeah.
Well, I haven't really bothered with caching things very much because we haven't really need them.
No, that's because 90% of our clients are hosted on my servers, and I manage my server in such a way that they're not overloaded. And so they provide all the resources necessary for a website to deliver at max speed. And, you know, my servers are in high quality data centers, and the data centers, I have them on the East Coast and the West Coast. So it delivers at its best performance. So.
All right, well, that is
all right.
The end.
I think that's it. We've written it off, folks. Thanks everyone for showing up. We're going to play a little music to carry us on out. Thanks everyone for coming by and visiting. And don't forget, hit the like button, you know, just to, you know, help boost it up a little. Every once in a while, I remember that. So with that said, a little bit of music. Carry us out.
These are the days of thunder. We're going to make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes
righty, folks. That's all. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Oh my god, that is amazing!
Oh no. Obviously, we just lost the satellite feed.